What's up YouTube, Dale here from Zephyr, and today I am bringing you an update to Rescue Ace. So Rescue Ace actually got two brand new cards from Burst Protocol, one of them being the Rescue Ace Arbitrator, and massive shout out to Grimes Games who were able to hook me up with this awesome Starlight Rare version. I don't know whether it was like, it definitely was. It was a good kind of thing to do, but I don't know if it was like a very clever plan, because now that I've got this, I'm like, oh, damn, do I need to be able to get the Quick Attacker and another Arbitrator? But if I do, I'll be going there. And also massive shout out to Rob. So this is pretty much Rob's list with a couple of alterations to my own personal playstyle. I'm going to take you through the main, the extra, a side deck, and I'm also going to show you the brand new 1.5 card combo that the deck has to get itself into the Arbitrator and just give them a little bit more power, I guess. So with all of that out of the way, please smash that like button, hit that notification bell, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more upcoming content. Diving head first into the Rescue Ace cards. Let's start off with the core component being the Rescue Ace Hydrant. So you're going to want to max out on this card, and if you want it to be extra shiny to match the rest of the day, if you wanted to make it extra shiny, you can actually get it as a Starlight Rare from Mega Tin 2025. So for those of you unfamiliar with how Rescue Ace work, I'm going to take you through each of the individual cards and let you know what they do. So Hydrant is while you control a Rescue Ace monster other than itself, your opponent's monsters cannot target this card for an attack, and your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Only use each of your final effects once per turn, and then you get to activate a quick play spell or a trap card that was set by the effect of a Rescue Ace card the turn it was set. During the main phase, you get to add a Rescue Ace monster from the deck to the hand except itself. Then we have probably the best starter of the entire deck being the Rescue Ace Airlifter, who did get a little bit of a knockback on a Forbidden Limited list and then came back to free, so happy days. If this card is normal or special, you get to add a Rescue Ace spell from the deck to the hand. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, you get a quick effect to tribute this card from the hand or face up from the field and special summon a Rescue Ace monster from the hand, except itself. Only use each effect once per turn. The card, more times than not, you're going to want to go for is Emergency, and we'll talk about that when we get to it. Then we're on free Rescue Ace Impulse. This is your in-archetypal hand interactor. So during your main phase, you get to choose the one effect your opponent controls with the highest attack. One effect monster your opponent controls with the highest attack. Neither player can activate that monster's effects on the field this turn. But when your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, you get a quick effect to tribute this card from the hand or face out the field. Special summon a Machine Rescue Ace monster from the deck. And then we do play three of the brand new Rescue Ace Quick Attacker. So you get to shuffle one other Rescue Ace card from the hand or face up field into the deck. Special summon this card from the hand. You can tribute this card to add a Rescue Ace monster from the deck to the hand. Then you can special summon it if only your opponent controls a monster. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except fires, which is absolutely fine because that's kind of what we're going to be doing anyway. Then for your boss monsters, or in-archetypal main deck boss monsters, two of the Ace Preventer. You get to banish a Rescue Ace card from the graveyard to special summon this card from the hand. If you control another Rescue Ace monster, you get a quick effect to target an effect monster your opponent controls and change it face down defense position. Then, if this card is sent to the graveyard by any means, you get to target one of your banished Rescue Ace monsters except a level 8 monster and special summon it. Only use the effect once per turn. The other bigger boss monsters that we are playing is the one Rescue Ace Fire Engine, one Fire Attacker, and the one Turbulence. So, Turbulence is going to be your core piece you're going to go to, but I'll get to that in a second. So Fire Engine is if a Rescue Ace monster is normal or special to your field except itself, you get to special summon this card from the hand. If a monster or monsters is special to your opponent's field except during a damage state, you get to special summon a level 4 or lower Rescue Ace monster from the hand, deck, or graveyard. Fire Attacker is if a Rescue Ace monster is normal or special to your field except itself, and except during a damage state, you special summon this card from the hand. If a card or cards is added to your opponent's hand except by drawing it, you get to draw 2 cards and then discard a card. And then Turbulence, you get to banish 2 Rescue Ace cards from the graveyard to special summon this card from the hand. During the main phase, you get to set up to 4 Rescue Ace quick play spell cards or normal traps with different names directly from the deck. If another card or card you control leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, except during a damage step, you get to target a card on the field and destroy it. As the fire sleeves enter the field of play. And then moving on to the Rescue Ace spells. So you're going to want to max out on your Emergency just because this is again a route to a starter. So this card is always treated as a Rescue Ace card, and you get to special summon a Rescue Ace monster from the deck in defense position and then tribute a Rescue Ace monster from the hand or field. During your main phase, you get to banish this card from the grave to target a Rescue Ace trap in your graveyard and reset it. Only use each effect once per turn. We then play the 1 Alert, the 1 Rescue, and 1 Rescue Ace HQ. So Alert, again, always treated as a Rescue Ace card. Add a Rescue Ace monster from the grave to the hand, or if you control Rescue Ace Hydrant, you get to add it from the deck instead. Rescue is you get to target a Rescue Ace monster in your grave, or if you control a Rescue Ace Hydrant, target a monster in your opponent's graveyard instead and special summon it to your field. Now, Rescue Ace HQ is just so much more easily accessible thanks to the Arbitrator, but being able to get access to this, while your opponent controls a monster, all Rescue Ace monsters you control gain 500 attack and defense, which is going to mean that your Arbitrator is a base of 3,500, pretty decent. And then on top of that as well, during your main phase, you get to normal summon a Rescue Ace monster in addition to your normal summon or set, and you only gain that effect once per turn. And you get to target 4 Rescue Ace cards that are banished and or in your graveyard and shuffle them into the deck to draw a card. Now, it specifically is exactly 4, but it's absolutely fine because you're going to be banishing a lot of stuff through your Turbulence and also through your Preventer. So it's actually quite easy to do. Then for the trap cards, before we get onto like the non-engine cards, you play the 1 Contain and the 1 Extinguish. So again, both of these are always treated as a Rescue Ace card. And then if you control a Rescue Ace monster, target an effect monster your opponent controls, this turn its effects cannot be, that effect monster cannot attack and its effects are negated. If you control Hydrant or at resolution, that monster also cannot be used as material for a fusion, XZ, Synchro, or Link. Extinguish, if you control Rescue Ace monster, target an effect monster your opponent controls, destroy it. Then if you currently control Rescue Ace Hydrant, your opponent cannot activate the effects of the destroyed monster or of monsters with its same original name this turn. So it's pretty much a really cool lockdown. Then for the non-engine, I'm playing 3 Ash Blossom, 1 Call By, 1 for 1, and Prosperity. You can also play Reinforcement of the Army. I'm still trying to find the last few spaces of this deck because with the non-engine, it can be quite flexible. But what I like about this deck is that I can actually play Dominus Spiral and Dominus Impulse. If you don't have access to Impulse, you can get Spiral. I highly expect Impulse will be reprinted in Rarity Collection 5. I'm not too sure if it's 100% confirmed yet, but it probably will be. In places of these cards as well, you do have Infinite Impermanence you can use. You've got Reinforcement of the Army, as I've already previously mentioned. You can play Drownlock Bird and Nibiru in the main deck, which is exactly what Rob is doing. I just think these are both incredibly powerful. This one locks you out of Light and Darks, and this one will lock you out of, off the top of my head, I think it's Wind, Light, and Earth. So you don't really care about those because you want to be going near enough 100% fire. There are some darks in our extra deck that we will use, but it's one of the ones where if you have to choose to use this, you're probably quite happy to make that sacrifice, especially when you fire lock yourself anyway. And then the final ones are 3 Mulchummy Fuel Losses. This is kind of like a card that I'm like, maybe you could afford to cut if you wanted to, but I'm actually quite happy with this ratio lineup just because it can be very, very aggressive. Ash Blossom is what Ash Blossom is. Like it's a fire hand interactor that you can recycle, and it's also a fire monster, which puts in a lot of work in general for the deck as well. Moving on to the extra deck. So we play 2 Rescue Ace Arbitrator. Before anyone asks where I got the border sleeves from, they came from Sleeve Chief, so you can pick them up if you want to. I believe they still have some in stock. But your Arbitrator is your brand new Link 4 boss monster for this deck. It requires 2 or more fire monsters, so nice and generic, thanks to Promethean Princess. And then on top of this one, you get to, if it's Link summoned, you get to add a Rescue Ace Hydrant or a Rescue Ace HQ from the deck or grave to the hand. If you activate a Rescue Ace Quick Play spell card or a Rescue Ace normal trap card, except during the down step, target 1 card your opponent controls and destroy it. You can use this effect twice per turn. So it gives you a double pop when you're using stuff like Contain, Extinguish, Alert, you name it. Then on top of this, we start to play. Now, I'm just going to go through, I've kind of like messed up the ratios, but, messed up the lineup. For the other Link 4s, we've got the 1 Salaman Great Raging Phoenix. The idea is that you go Promethean Princess if you're not fire locked. You turn Promethean Princess into Raging Phoenix. You turn Raging Phoenix into Zelantis, and because it's a water, it doesn't care about the locks of Spiral and Impulse, which is absolutely fine. We've then got your Doolittle Chimera, just to buff all of your fire monsters. Nightmare Phoenix, pretty standard on a fire monster. Heater, the Fire Charmer. We've got the 1 Salaman Great Sunlight Wolf. We've got the Amber Whale as well. Like Amber Whale, and I kind of spoke to Rob on this one, it's kind of one of the ones that you could probably get rid of if you wanted to, but honestly, it can still be one of the ones that puts in a lot of work. Like if you want to be defensive, like if you're going first, and you're like, I've already got Arbitrator, or I don't want to get Arbitrator, don't know why you wouldn't, but you can also have that option to make Amber Whale, and then Amber Whale will set you up another disruption in the graveyard. Then a newish card, but a card that's like new in the fray, is the one Leviatine the Burning Blade. So it requires 2 fire monsters, and then during the main phase you get a quick effect to tribute one other fire monster, target a fire monster in your graveyard with the same original type but a lower level than that monster, and special summon it in defense position. If a face-down card or cards in your spell and trap zone would be destroyed by an opponent's card, you banish this card you control instead. So it's actually going to be quite defensive. Now there is a card, now I did have this up to one side, and this is what kind of, I didn't want to go over this, but it does bug me, is that there's a lot of combos online, right? And all these combos online, they use a card that we don't actually have a release date for in the TCG, so they're kind of redundant. But this is probably the Burning Blade's brother, I guess. So it's called Flame Tongue the Blazing Magical Blade. We don't have an official English name for it as of yet as well. And it requires 2 fire monsters. Face-up spells and tracks you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's effects. You get to target one of your banished fire monsters and add it to the hand. And if you do, you cannot activate the effects of cards with that name for the rest of the turn. Only use the effect once per turn. It's basically like a... It's basically like a Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf, but this is currently TCG legal and is your best alternative option, and it's actually really cheap because it's super rare. And then for the ones that are not fires or waters, that are the darks, which you could very easily get rid of if you want to for the spiral, they're just generic options. So you've got your Link Shanama. You can very easily play Link Karibo if you want to in this one. Link Karibo in this one if you want to, but you don't always want to get rid of your Hydrant. You kind of want to keep Hydrant on the field. IP Masquerena into SP Little Knight, which you can also then play the Gorgon if you wanted to, the Link Free. If you wanted to do that, you'd probably play that instead of the Superstar Slayer Typhon, and that just gives you an option to kind of go, right, well, rather than IP going to SP, IP goes into Gorgon, and it can slow everything back down a bit. But honestly, these 4 cards are just those staple cards that you might want to get into. You're probably going to firelock yourself more times than not just because of the way this deck works, but it's still really, really cool and really aggressive. For the side deck, now this is just a demo side deck. These are like side decks you would adapt to your environment. I've gone with 3 Forbidden Droplet. Like, you're playing quite a lot of traps, you can cover that aspect. You're playing a decent amount of spells, and you're also playing a decent amount of monsters. But this could very easily be Forbidden Crown if you want to, or Evenly Matched is one that I do advise, because I quite like the idea of going second with Rescue Ace, which is probably one of its weakest options. Activate Evenly Matched to try and break fields a bit more. And as I already mentioned, going second is probably one of its weakest attributes. It is a control style deck. So you do want to kind of like double down on your go second options with Fuelos, Meows, and obviously Perulia. Then we've got Draw Not Bird, 3 Nibiru, and then 3 Retaliating Sea. The only benefit of Retaliating Sea is if Draco Tail becomes still the #1 deck, like Radiant Typhoon could still be an option for you, which could be quite annoying. Like Retaliating Sea can cause them a little bit of an issue. But Draco Tail, you can use Retaliating Sea. You don't mind some of your stuff getting banished because you can recycle it quite easily with Headquarters, but it's one of them options that this is your format specific card. If your environment plays no Draco Tail, then by all means you just don't play Retaliating Sea, and then that's your 3 Evenly Matched. But if they do, you've got Retaliating Sea and you're like, cool, I've got that to cover everything I need to. So that's pretty much it for the side deck. Like, it's just a demo side deck, put it together but adapt it to your environment. That's usually how it always works with stuff like this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a very simple 1.5 card combo. Now it does involve the brand new Rescue Ace Quick Attack, but you do have a couple of different options. So I'm just going to zoom this out a little bit. And then what you need is you need any other Rescue Ace card. Like, it doesn't matter what one it is. Like, these are just like how many like Rescue Ace cards. I'm just going to line them all up. As long as they are a Rescue Ace card, you can see it probably would have been easier for me to show you the cards that are not Rescue Ace cards, which are those there. But basically, what you're trying to do here with any Rescue Ace card, let's choose Impulse. So you get to shuffle one other Rescue Ace card from the hand or face-up field into the deck to special summon this card from the hand. You tribute it to add a Rescue Ace monster from the deck to the hand, and then you can special summon it if your opponent is the only one that controls a monster. Now, I'm not going to rely on that effect. We're actually going to use our normal summon to do it. But the other is you'd use Rescue Ace Quick Attacker. You'd put your Impulse back into the deck. You'd grab your Airlifter. You'd tribute off the Quick Attacker. You'd get your Airlifter, right? You're going to normal summon down your Airlifter. So we've done our normal summon. Airlifter, pretty standard, gets you Emergency. Emergency, tributes off Airlifter, puts you another one in the graveyard, grabs you out, special summons out the Hydrant. Hydrant's effect grabs you the Turbulence. There you go, Hydrant there, Turbulence there. Turbulence then banishes 2 from the graveyard, so you can get rid of your Quick Attacker and your Airlifter. You can leave 1 in the graveyard and banish the Emergency if you want to, doesn't make much of a difference. This summons down your Turbulence. Turbulence then uses effect to set 4. You usually always want to set 4, but you know. So you're going to go for Extinguish, you're going to go for Rescue, Contain, and alert. And if you open up any of these, you obviously replace that with emergency, okay? Then what you get to do here, just like give a bit more space here, is you then get to utilize one of your cards that have been set because it was set via a Rescue Ace card and you control Hydrant. So you're going to want to activate your Rescue, because you control Hydrant, it lets you add directly from the deck. Wait, no, sorry, it's Alert. Always get them mixed up. So you add a Rescue Ace card from the deck to the hand, and the card you're going to want to grab is your Preventer, okay? Now what you do is you link these two together. So we used our Alert, we link these two together. We go into the Leviathan. So I'm just going to bring these down here. So these are now all, not irrelevant, but these are all now set, okay? So you can kind of ignore those a little bit. Let's bring this out a bit more. So then what you get to do is you get to special summon down your Preventer by banishing the Turbulence. You can then use the Burning Blades effect to tribute off your Preventer to summon back your Hydrant. In doing so, Preventer's effect will now trigger because it was sent to bring you back the Turbulence, which is, it's all absolutely fine. Like the idea is you just want to get the Hydrant back on the field, and the Hydrant is now in position where you need it. So you then use the Leviathan plus your Turbulence, and you're going to go into Princess. Princess effect then revives the fire from the graveyard. Doesn't matter which one you bring back because you're just going to instantly link it off and go into your Arbitrator. Arbitrator's effect will now allow you to grab the HQ. There we go, so you can now activate the HQ. You can use the HQ's effect to put 3 back. You do have the ability for an additional normal summon if you wanted to. So if you do have more cards in your hand, you can extend a bit further. But with your HQ, you can put back your banished cards, all the monsters in your graveyard, and these are the 6 targets you have. So you put back 3 of those, you replace the card that you shuffled back into the deck at the end, and you've got your Arbitrator. You've got the additional effects because of the Hydrant. Because you control another Rescue Ace, your opponent cannot attack this or target this with card effects. And you've got the ability of activating any of these cards. And then, if you remember, as we've recycled, our hand will be a full hand of 4 now as well. So you've got the Contain, you've got the Rescue still, you've got the Extinguish. These can all be used during your opponent's turn. You have your Arbitrator that's going to give you a double pop. And like I said, if you want that additional normal summon, you can do it for your Rescue Ace HQ, which is all absolutely fine. So you're in a very decent position here. Kind of gives you a lot more to work with, which is really kind of cool. It works out quite nicely, and that's kind of what you've got from 1.5 cards. Yes, it is kind of specific because it does need your quick attacker, but then you open up the door to loads more now. Like, there's quite a lot of options for you. The quick attack is just very good at extension. And like I said, if you don't need to use your normal summon on it, you can then extend a little bit more. And going second, it gives you a little bit more of a push because you can get that special summon rather than using your normal summon. It's a shame that it does kind of burn your hand resource a little bit. Yes, of course, you can use the field, but more times than not, you're going to use your hand, aren't you? And that is pretty much it for the entire video. So you've got a main deck, you've got an extra deck, you've got a side deck, and of course, you've got a very tidy combo to give you a base understanding of what the deck can do as it currently stands right here, right now. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. If you do have any questions at all, comments down below. I'm always happy to answer them where at all possible. Massive shout out to Rob again for the list of the Rescue Ace. He actually took it to an online event. And during that event, he ended up going 2-2. Obviously not perfect, but considering this was the first event with the new support, it kind of shows that it goes toe-to-toe. And I'm pretty sure everyone was preparing for the YCS 300. So I think I remember him saying he faced Draco Tau, he faced, I might even have the list up here somewhere, but maybe I'll have a look later. But I'm pretty sure he ended up facing like Draco Tau and a couple of other meta contenders, Radiant as well. And it shows that the deck is one of the ones that if you disrespect, it might catch you off guard. But it's just something you need to be aware of that could cause you issues if you're preparing for a YCS or if you're preparing for locals. But I think it could actually be a really, really good local deck as well. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, as absolutely always, stay safe. And of course, happy dueling.